Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to give you a brief glimpse on the new wall panel, the VEO-XWT44E, that we launched this past April. Okay, we're going to talk about some of the main functionalities and specs that this product offers, okay, and give you a brief overview on how we developed it. This device is an HDBaseT solution, okay? As a brief recap, this is a long-distance distribution technology that allows you to share up to 5 different types of data over a single LAN cable, okay? Its point-to-point configuration lets you connect two far ends with relatively simplicity, okay? For those installations that do not require a networked approach, okay? It's almost a plug and play, if you will. Also, as well as the other VEO products on this category, we are including the balanced chipset that's certified by the HDBaseT Alliance, okay? So it's going to give you a very good performance, and it's going to be very good for your future installations, okay? Now, without further ado, I'm happy to officially introduce you to the new wall panel VEO-XWT44E. We are offering a multifaceted device capable of both switching and extending features, as you can guess from the elements present on the front plate. Okay, you can see the input, you can see the buttons, the indicators, the LED indicators. We're going to dig a bit more in the next few slides, okay? It is not a very big product. It's roughly 15 centimeters long per 9 of height, okay? We are following the standardized dimensions in the European Union, except for depth, okay? It is slightly more profound than average, so we will be providing a special mounting box as well, okay, to accommodate it. This device is going to be supporting a maximum video resolution of 4K and 60 Hz refresh rate, okay, as well as HDCP and HDR. As you can find on some of its peers in the HDBaseT family, we are offering up to 70 meters extension when we are dealing with a full HD video signal, okay? When we will have a 4K, we're going to be delivering up to 40 meters of distance in that sense, okay? Again, we will be able to panel both, to power the panel both locally or remotely, okay, through the cable. In case that the responsible for it is the other end, okay, the receiver that's placed on the other end. It will be also delivering switcher functionality, okay? We will be able to swap between the two HDMI 2.0 inputs that we are offering, as well as the USB-C. That's a very growing technology that's catching up very fast, okay? Also, thanks to the buttons that you see here in the front panel, we will be able to control both this product, the VEO-XWT44E, and third-party devices, okay? We're going to see that in a bit. Okay, so now what I want to give you is a small review of the capabilities, okay, as well as the hardware that this device is including. We are going to take a quick example on how to begin to use this product and how to configure its managed options, okay? I'm going to do a very step-by-step flow on how to begin to operate it. So, in that case, we are looking at the front plate, okay? This is a sketch that's going to be illustrating how the device is going to come off the box whenever we receive it and we want to install it, okay? So the first thing we have to do, obviously, is to power it. So we're going to go to the rear plate of the device. Here we can see some connectors, okay? The one that's interesting us right now is the DC in labeled, okay? That's the one that's going to be powering through this Euroblock connector this device. Also, we are offering a DC out connector that will let us power an external device, okay? In that case, it's not going to be 24 volts, it's going to be 12. But for all the range of devices that has this kind of powering, that should do it. Okay. As well, you can see the two other connectors on the other side that are going to be dealing with the communications protocols. Okay, both RS-232 or between or using infrared signals. Okay, so once we have plugged in the device, we're going to see the on LED light up. Okay, it's going to be with this red color, and now the next step we want to take is obviously to connect the panel to the other end, okay, to the receiver that's going to be placed on the other end of the video signal flow. So in that case, we go to the side B of the panel. Here we have the RJ45 connector that's going to be plugged, as I said, to the receiver. In case that we haven't powered this device locally with the DC in input that I showed you before, and that the receiver is the one that has the power, we are going to be able to turn this device on through the cable, okay? That's going to work also vice versa. We can do this the other way around. We can power the device locally and bring the power to the receiver through the cable. Okay, so once we have done this, the link LED is going to light up. This time is going to be green. Green is good, as you know. And that's going to tell us that the receiver and the transmitter are perfectly paired, okay, are ready to transmit. So the next thing we have to do now is, for example, connect a source to one of the inputs. In that case, for example, let's assume that we connect an HDMI source to the HDMI in label 2. And what we are going to see, okay, is that the associated LED is going to light up with green. That will be meaning that the device is correctly plugged, okay, and that this HDMI is the selected input, okay. Also, notice that the HDCP link is also going to be lighting up. We have two modes of indicator in this case, okay. The first one is when the link, where the LED is static, it's not blinking, okay. That's going to mean that the video transmission is going to be delivered with the copy protection, okay. In the other case, it is going to be blinking. In that situation, that's what it's going to be meaning is that we do not have copy protection activated for that video signal, okay. So once we have the input connected, we can connect other inputs to the other connectors, and the LEDs are going to be lighting with an orange light, all right. That is going to tell us that we have the sources correctly hooked, okay, but that they are not selected. Also, that they are powered. Okay, we can hook a source to the HDMI, and if it is not powered, the LED is not going to light up. Okay, so next thing we want to do, maybe we have a screen on the other side and we wanted to turn it off. We can press the display on and off button. That's going to send a command, okay, to turn on the display. Also, if we want to change from one connector to the other, from one input to the other, we can hold the source button, okay. That is going to switch sequentially from HDMI 1 to the USB-C entrance, okay? It's going to be a circle in that matter. So if we click it, we are going to see in that case that HDMI in 2 is going to be swapped to the USB-C, and that the LED indicator is going to be green in that case, okay? That is for manual operation, but we also are offering an automatic, an auto source switching capability. Okay, so how do we activate this? What we have to do is to press and hold the source button, okay, for 3 seconds. Okay, whenever we do that, we're going to see that the blue light indicator, it's going to be static, okay, not change. This will mean that the source automatic function is activated, and thus when we connect or activate one of the other inputs, it's going to automatically go to it regarding, despite the connectivity sequential that I told you before. Okay, so in that case, if we plug the HDMI 2, we are going to be seeing that the vice versa, the LED is going to be lightning in that case. All right. What other functions does this feature include? Well, we have also an automatic switching when we remove a source. In that case, we have a priority established from HDMI 1 to USB-C as well, okay? So, for example, if we are again plugged to the HDMI into, in that case, we remove the connector, the switcher will switch to the next priority input that's active. In that case, is going to be the HDMI 1, okay? That's how it's going to be working. If, for example, we just have the 2 bottom inputs active, it then should connect to the USB-C, okay? That's how it's going to be working. Then, the last function of this mode of this way of working is that we are going to be saving the last configuration that the device has configured. Okay, so for example, if we have the source auto functionality on, and we have this this group of this order of connected inputs, whenever we unplug the power of the device or we reboot it, we will get this same configuration, okay? In case that the list of inputs is not the same, it will activate it according to the rules that I told you before, okay? So for example, if now we have the HDMI 1, but when we recover the power, this input is not activated, it's going to use the rules that I told you before to rethink and reconfigure the input established. Okay. So also other elements that are present in the front plate. First of all, we have the reset button. That's a very small button. Okay, that's going to allow us to reboot the device. Okay, this is useful in those cases for when, for example, we need to resynchronize a video signal, or we need to, for example, recover one last configuration that we have. Okay, in that case, hence that this panel is going to be screwed to the wall, it's going to be a little bit inconvenient to unscrew it, take off the power, etc., etc. So this reset is going to allow you to quickly emulate this scenario. Okay. Also, we find another USB-C input. In that case, this connector is only fitted for firmware upgrade. Okay. Do not use it for anything else. It's not going to work. And last, we have an IR sensor, okay, that's going to help us with the remote control management. So I also told you before that there were some other options to control both the panel and the third-party devices, okay? We have 3 ways to control both the panel and these devices. First of all, we have the CEC commands for those connections using HDMI cables. we will be able to switch a device on and off, and also do some volume management. Also, we are including RS-232 protocol communication. That's including several interesting commands that range from the same functionalities established on the elements present in the front panel to some auxiliary features, as a keeped log, or also setting a shutting time once the video signal is lost, okay, to let the screen, the other end screen, know when to automatically switch off, okay. This list of commands, you will find it on the user manual, okay. There are several of them. I suggest you take a look on them because they are very interesting and will help you shape your installations to your needs. Also, we are offering infrared management, especially fit for those situations where none of the other two are compliant with the receiver element, okay. So you can make the device learn on when one of the signals pressed in the remote is going to make another device switch on or off, okay. As I told you before, these actions are going to be triggered by the display on and off button, okay. Those buttons have two states, on and off, okay. Off when it's white, on when it's blue, okay. So that means that we are going to be able to code two commands, okay, in each one of the pressings, okay. Also, we are going to be able to send one of the protocols or the other two as well, okay, on the same pressing. We can activate or deactivate these protocols in the internal configuration, okay. So as a factory default, we are building CEC commands only for displaying on and off, but with the configuration that's going to be able to do with this panel, you can activate or deactivate the other ones to go along, okay. When you open the box, the contents that will show obviously is on one side the wall panel, the VEO-XWT44E, okay, that's obviously one of the things that you will encounter. Then you will also have the Euro block adapters for the rear plate inputs that I showed you before, and also the adapted wall surface, okay, that's going to be accommodating this extra depth that the device has, okay, as well as the mounting screws. And finally, obviously, we're going to be including a PSU unit, okay. For a good performance of this extending solution, we recommend pairing it with the VEO-XWT44E, okay, one of the flagship HDBaseT receiver that we have in our video catalog. But you can also make it work with third-party devices that include an HDBaseT compliant input as well, okay. You have these two ways to pair it with the other end and to be able to connect it directly, okay. So now what I want to do is show you two very quick examples, okay, on how to configure, how to connect the wall panel, okay. That I think will help us illustrate and summarize a bit better all that we have talked today, okay, in this webinar. These are two simple examples that can serve as a starting point for other types of installations that will help you shape, as I said before, the needs that those installation requires, okay. So first of all, as I said, a very brief installation, very small installation. We have a bunch of sources in one end, and the visualization devices on the other one, as well as a displaying screen. Let's assume that this is a small classroom that needs a projection device, and what we are going to be able to provide with this wall panel is, for example, through CEC commands, we will be able to automatically switch on the projector and also configure an RS-232 compliant order to bring the screen down or also bring it up, okay, with one pressing of the display and off button. This is going to be very fit for those kind of scenarios where the person that's going to be managing the display, okay, is near the wall panel, okay, so you can connect and operate it easily. Another example, a more complete one, if you will, can include also an auxiliary control device. In that case, we have used our WPNet touch, okay, where we can configure two ways of controlling both the panel and the remote device. In that case, for example, let's assume that we are in a meeting room where we have the wall panel installed in one end of the room, and also we have a small table or a bigger table in the middle of the room, okay, where the participants are going to be gathering. In that case, we can have our sources connected to the wall panel, and we also can configure the touch screen, okay, to operate it in the table, okay. So that way you can either do it standing in front of the screen as a person presenting the topics or the themes, and also you will be able to control it when you are seated, okay, on the table as well. Also, we can also configure that whenever we plug one of the devices, this screen is turned on automatically through the RS2 commands that I told you, and also we can use this the same configurations that are present in the panel installed in the WPNet touch. Okay, so I think that this summarizes some of the features and the things you can do with this panel. Obviously, for more elaborated solutions, I suggest you contact our projects department or me personally to help you shape your installation. And also I leave here the tech support email address for anything concerned to any malfunction or something that you need to ask to them. Okay, thank you very much for attending this webinar, and I hope it was of help and educational.